Thank you for being here with me on this journey of aliveness and considering reflecting on this energy of eclipses that we are currently going through in May of the year 2022. And it's very, very powerful, transformative time to dial on our values since we are in this season of Taurus and Taurus is all about values. It's about beauty. It's about values, things, and people in relationship that have worth in our life and that are really meaningful for us in our lives and that are grounding us. That have this grounding, essential presence. And this is also in the moment of me recording this. I am recording this during the transit of Gene Key 24, the Gene Key of silence, also which has its dark side or shadow side of addiction. And the path that leads us into the silence is through the path of invention. So it invites us to be creative. It's the time of creativity and inventiveness in some way, as well as in human design and I Ching, in Chinese I Ching, that it stems from its time of returning. It's called returning, gate of returning. So I thought it's very, very fascinating and interesting to take a moment to contemplate on where and what in our lives has this quality that brings us back into our essence. What has the quality in our life that invites us to consider and contemplate the depth of our perception and the depth of our being. And the beauty of it is actually that Taurus is considered to be a very material sign. It's a sign that helps us to be present, be here and now, that helps us to enjoy our environment, that helps us to appreciate the beauty of this beautiful planet that we live on. A truly one of the signs that I would say an ambassador of aliveness. If you know any Tauruses in your life, just take a moment to see how they relate to life, how they appreciate all those small things that they have, how they might have the simple thing that they really enjoy having a good meal. And you could really just see that in their movement, in their behavior, in their speech. In our bodies, the energy of Taurus is represented by our neck and our throat. So the beauty and the sweetness of the words that we express. Taurus is a sign of Venus. So Venus is like a ruler of this sign. And this is where the beauty comes through action, movement, words, words to others, but as well words to ourselves. So this is a time to take a moment and program your mind, program those addictive qualities or those addictive thoughts that you might have that run through your mind uncontrollably, and take a moment to consider where you can use the sweetness and the power of your voice to redirect them, to really transform them from that addictive quality into the silence. That's where meditation is so powerful and has its value. Again, in my own world, that's where I am so grateful to have been practicing meditation for a while. Still remembering, regardless how long I have been practicing, it's still a challenging practice some days because our mind is very addicted. Our mind is very addicted and really has hard time processing our feelings, our emotions. And it has its own addictive patterns interpreting what we are feeling. So if you can take a moment to sit, even if it's not a formal meditation, maybe it's a form of contemplation where you can consider what you are feeling, that sensation, that emotion that you are experiencing right now, as raw material without our mind getting involved. Because what happens a lot of times when we are experiencing some type of emotion or some type of feeling, our mind immediately gets involved and creates a story and creates entanglement around that emotion. And the moment we bring the gift of invention, we sort of take this very complex element of all of this vibration and frequency that we creating with our thought and our emotion, and we separate them, seeing where our mind is just creating its story and where and how we are experiencing this emotion. It's also very interesting to see and notice how you're experiencing this feeling, this emotion in your physical body. Because remember, the Taurus, the sign of Taurus, is very physical, material sign, a sign of our body, truly the sign of embodiment. Noticing this solidness of our bodies. This theme of returning is really powerful because it's also highlights this energy of Pluto. Pluto is a planet of deep transformation. It's also sometimes is known as the planet of the underworld, the planet that takes us into almost like a crisis, into a breakdown in order for us to restructure, to rise like a phoenix, to come up from ashes, to fly up even higher, liberating ourselves from the things that do not serve us any longer. And planet Pluto went into retrograde a few days ago at the very end of April, just before this eclipse season officially began, meaning that we have been again sort of like gathering material for transformation throughout the time that Pluto was going direct, has been active. So we've been gathering material that will be our learning throughout the time that Pluto is in its retrograde. And it's beginning, it's almost the themes of that learning. These lessons, let's say, are beginning with this eclipse, this energy. It's to a sort of flavor of that learning is starting in beginning of May. So I invite you to notice what are the themes, what are the topics that are currently alive within your reality, and remembering to take time to stay grounded, regardless how very powerful, how very disturbing the emotional side of this lessons could be. There is always transformation. There is always a transformative, powerful lesson that is coming forward, a powerful insight that is coming forward through these experiences that you are currently undergoing right now. I invite you to join me on other social media platforms, all well-known social media platforms. I am as well present there. And most importantly, my newsletter, where I share monthly, once a month, I share this astrological gene key and human design insights of current energetics of the universe, of the planet, and how this could be beneficial for you personally and for us as a collective. Thank you for being here.